Welcome back to the Honest Baseball Podcast. I'm Becky, and today we are talking about a pitch that makes some hitters laugh, makes others throw their bats in frustration, and makes every fan lean in. We are talking about the Eephus. Joining me is our resident expert, Coach Jason Butler. Coach, is this a real pitch or just a glorified lob?
Well, Becky, it's a bit of both. But the honest truth is, it's one of the most disrespectful weapons a pitcher can have in their pocket. Most guys in the big leagues are trying to blow 100 miles per hour past you. The Eephus does the exact opposite. It dares you to hit it.
I've seen clips of Zach Greinke throwing it, and it looks like it's barely moving. Where does that weird name even come from?
It's actually quite deep. It comes from the Hebrew word Eephus, which means zero or nothing. Back in the 40s, Rip Sewell's teammate Maurice Van Robeys said, "Eephus ain't nothing, and that's a nothing pitch." And that's exactly why it works. It's a calculated disruption of the hitter's internal clock.
A calculated nothing. I love that. But Jason, logically, shouldn't a pro hitter just smash a 50-mile-per-hour ball? It's practically a meatball.
You'd think so, right? But here's the physics of what I call the hump. When I throw you a standard fastball, your eyes track it on a horizontal plane. But when I throw an Eephus, it arcs 15 to 20 feet in the air.
20 feet? That's like throwing it over a house.
Exactly. And because your eyes have to move vertically to keep the ball in sight, your brain has to reboot mid-swing. By the time that ball falls into the strike zone, the hitter has usually lunged forward and lost their balance. It turns a $30 million athlete into a confused amateur in 3 seconds.
I can imagine the frustration. But how do you actually throw it? In your latest guide, you mentioned more than just the four-seam grip.
Right. If you want to master this, you need the big 3 grips. First, the palm ball. You choke that ball deep in your palm to kill the spin. Then there's the 3-finger lob for control. But my favorite? The knuckle Eephus. You push it out with your knuckles, and because there's zero spin, the wind takes it. It dances. It's a floater that hitters absolutely hate.
And you always talk about the ghost fastball. Is that the ultimate goal?
That's the real magic, Becky. The Eephus is a setup man. If I throw you a 45 miles per hour nothing ball and then follow it with a 92 miles per hour heater, that fastball doesn't look like 92. To your brain, it feels like 110. We call that the velocity gap.
So the Eephus actually makes your other pitches better.
Exactly. But you have to be smart. Never throw it twice in a row. It's a surprise party. You don't throw 2 surprise parties in the same inning. And for heaven's sake, don't throw it on a 3-1 count. You don't want to walk a guy with a slow-motion balloon.
Great advice, Coach. Before we go, where can our listeners find these grips and that cool calculator you built?
Head over to honestbaseball.com. I just updated the Eephus guide with a velocity gap calculator. You can put in your own speeds and see how much perceived velocity you're actually adding. And while you're there, check out my shop page. I've got 2 ebooks that go way deeper into these mechanics.
You heard him, folks. Go to honestbaseball.com, play around with the tools, and level up your game. I'm Becky.
And I'm Jason Butler. Keep playing hard, stay fit, and always keep 'em guessing.